Hello, my name is Arouna, and for my senior research project, I decided to explore the sexual double standard and the way that race plays into the standard. Some background on the sexual double standard. According to the sexual double standard, boys and men are rewarded and praised for heterosexual contact, whereas girls and women are stigmatized for similar behaviors. This basically means that men are viewed as studs while women are viewed as sluts for engaging in the same behavior. Unfortunately, today's media does tend to promote the sexual double standard, whether intentional or not. In recent years, results of the sexual double standard have been quite consistent. The first experimenter to actually explore the sexual double standard on a larger scale was Reyes in 1964. His findings revealed that women who engaged in premarital sex were viewed less favorably and accepted than men who were to engage in that same behavior. Some background about the way that race plays into the sexual double standard. Just like societal factors, our ethnicity and our ethnic background shape the way we perceive others. Fugera and al. Reviewed literature pieces to determine whether an individual's gender and ethnic backgrounds are affected by the sexual double standard. What they found was that African Americans had the most permissive sexual behavior in hypothetical situations or in self report. That being said, through their findings, they found that African Americans were more likely to be seen as more permissive and more sexualized than white women and Latina women, also Asian women. My hypothesis that despite a few findings on the role that race plays on the sexual double standard, I hypothesize that white women will reveal evidence of the sexual double standard compared to black women in a casual relationship. The method that I chose to conduct my experiment was through the survey research design. My participants included 115 female undergrad and graduate student volunteers, all aging between 18 and 60. For this experiment, each volunteer was given a questionnaire with a survey page that will appear to be written by a high school student. Afterwards, they will be completing a 30 Likert scale questions based on the information given by that hypothetical student. Each question pertains to four subscales: values, popularity with peers, intelligence, and success. The procedure for this experiment were that participants were given a link to an online survey that will be presented with the survey completed by a fictional student. These surveys vary between white and black women and the type of relationship they were in, whether it was casual or steady. The things that stayed the same were their ages and whether they told friends or family about their first sexual encounter. There was no significant main effects on the given manipulated variables. Within the subscale of success, on average, with each condition, people evaluated these individuals as neither more successful or less successful. They were just seen as in the middle. Overall, within the subscale of popularity, the results range from the individual being either neither nor popular or unpopular to being somewhat popular in the eyes of the participants. For the subscale of intelligence, no one was seen as more intelligent or less intelligent. On average, the results were in the middle. Within the subscale of values, the results tended to be all over the place. Most participants evaluated these conditions as either someone who is neither good or bad, or someone who is of good nature. In conclusion, it's very hard to say that race had an influence on the studies simply because the p values were quite high, meaning that there was no significant interaction between the manipulated variables. These findings could also mean that although women are typically evaluate other women harshly for sexual behaviors, it could mean that this has somewhat dissipated amongst these recent years. Some limitations were that the Likert scale questions were quite long, and it could be possible that individuals got tired of taking the quiz and just filled in whichever. Also, the lack of male participants was a huge limitation uh, of this study. For future directions, it would be nice to include men into this experiment, thinking about lowering or raising the age of the individuals in each condition, or have men as a subject of the condition instead of women. I'd like to thank my mentor, Dr. Coral, and all the participants that have played a role into this experiment. Thank you.